This is the Cool Photo Tools Podcast, episode number 112, March 27th, 2017.
Are you sick of trying to learn all the new photo software? Are you tired of hearing about the next big thing in photography? Well, neither are we. Welcome to Cool Photo Tools with Jay Biersdorf and Rhonda Spencer.
Today's episode is brought to you by Adorama.com. We're more than a camera store. LifePixel.com. Infrared camera conversions open up a whole new world of possibilities. And Topaz Labs. Bring your photos to life. Good morning, cool heads. Welcome back to another episode of Cool Photo Tools. My name is Jay Biersdorf, and joining me again this morning is Rhonda Spencer.
Good morning. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning again. It's still morning here
in
Arizona.
It is.
Yep, and the sun is out, and it's
high beam.
Yep, and it's on high beam for sure. Okay, well,
you looking forward to summer, Jay?
Oh, you bet. You know, the hotter the better. You know, why else would you live in Arizona if you didn't like the heat, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. Either that or you'd be a snowbird and you'd leave by now.
Yes, well, you know, we do have winter visitors that we call snowbirds, and they come in because where they live, their winters are inhospitable, and our winters are much nicer. So they come in to visit, but just for the winter. And then when the weather gets better at home, then they go back home.
That's true.
And you know, we're okay with that. We love our winter visitors, and you know, we miss them when they're gone, and we can't wait till we see them again. So, welcome everybody. Gosh, I'm going to start today because I've got a bunch of stuff here, and I'm afraid I won't get through it if I don't just
jump on it.
Plow through this. So I was shopping on Amazon. Do you ever do that?
Oh no, no, I stay clean away from Amazon. Are you kidding? Amazon and I are one.
Okay, well, me too. And so you know, there's a lot of things that Amazon has for photographers or photography enthusiasts. And I was making a list of these, and I was looking at some other photographers' lists that things that they got on Amazon that they thought were really, added to their arsenal of tools.
What is it?
Well, I got a bunch of them. So it's going to take me a minute.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say, first of all, that we are an Amazon affiliate. So if you want any of these, you should go to our website at coolphototools.com and click on the podcast link, and then there's links to these. And if you click on the link, you know, that we have, then you'll go to the website, to Amazon, you can buy them, and then it doesn't cost you any more, but we get a small commission on that, so it helps us keep the lights on here. And okay, that's just full disclosure there. All right, so the first thing up that I thought was kind of indispensable and cool is a little plastic case for your batteries. And these come in different sizes depending on your battery. This one's made by Foto&Tech.
That is a good idea.
And it's a clear medium battery storage case. Because sometimes, you know, you put these in your pocket or you drop them into your camera bag, and you don't want the electrical contacts touching each other. You know, lithium batteries being what they are, can explode if they get shorted or too hot or some other varieties of things. Yeah. So these little plastic holders, you know, fit all the way around the battery. They're clear, and they're kind of frosty looking, and you just you order them for the type of batteries that you're going to put in there, and you're good to go. These are really handy, I think. You know, you probably need 3 or 4 of those. And here you can see that they've got, you can buy this particular one. There's it'll hold AA's, AAA's, 9-volt, or some others. You get 5 of these for $9, $8.99. So
not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal.
Not a bad price.
All right. Rhonda, did you want to come up with something in between there?
No, go ahead. I'm waiting to see what else you've got in your hat.
Okay, well, fine.
Okay, well.
Because the next thing that every photographer needs one of these, is a label maker. And they have the Dymo Label Maker 160 handheld label maker, and for $15. And so you can make, you know, those little plastic stick-on labels that you can label all your stuff. You know, like you can label your batteries, and that's probably a good idea, so that you know which battery is which. And And another suggestion that I heard on some other website is when you label your batteries, instead of just like 1, 2, or 3, you should name them with names like Larry, Curly, Mo, Shemp, so that, or Huey, Louie, and Dewey, you could.
And why?
Well, because it's more mnemonic. It's easier to remember, that Huey needs to be charged when you get home.
Going through your bag, where did Huey go? Where did Huey go? I can just see somebody like, oh my goodness.
Well,
I see Louie, but I can't find Huey.
Okay, well, you could, it's up to you. If you get the label maker, you
Okay.
own it. But that way, the trouble with the Sharpie pens, of course, is that, after I write about three letters with a Sharpie, it's unreadable. My handwriting is just not that good. So label makers are pretty handy. This is the Clif bar. These are made from actual cliffs.
Wow.
No.
How do they get them in that little thing?
No, these are, I don't know why they're called Clif. Maybe it was the guy named Cliff that made them. Anyway, so you always want to have a couple of these, or you could have some granola bars or some kind stuffed around in your camera bags, because you never know when you're going to be not able to get to a meal because you're taking pictures, you're out hiking around. Nice to have a little sustenance, a little extra energy when you need it. You can just grab one of these and munch it down really quick, and then you're good to go for another few hours of taking pictures. So that is the Clif bar, energy bar. This one is chocolate chip. And these come in different flavors. And you can get these by the box on Amazon.com. All right.
Okay, so
I got one more.
Let me throw in yours that's your favorite, though.
Okay, go
that
ahead.
you didn't do.
All right.
Gaffer tape. Right here.
Gaffer tape?
Yeah, right there on Amazon.
How do you know I wasn't coming to it?
I don't. Were you going to talk about it? Probably.
No,
I
go
steal
ahead.
your lamp?
It's not on my list. Go
All
ahead.
right. Really?
Yeah, it's not on this week's list anyway.
I was going to say this is one of the things that Jay lives by.
You can never have too much gaffer tape. Well,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what is gaffer tape?
Gaffer tape is tape that would be similar to what duct tape would be, but duct tape leaves residue when you wrap it around stuff. Gaffer tape, you can wind things around, and then when you pull it off, it pulls off completely clear and clean, doesn't leave any residue behind. So if you're taping wires to the ground and you're doing on some really nice floor, that way you're not leaving residue when you go to pull it back up. Waterproof, multi-purpose, better than duct tape. Right there.
Is that duct, D-U-C-T, or D-U-C-K?
That's DUCT.
Actually, it could go either way.
Does it really?
Yeah, it could be either one.
But isn't the other one so when you wrap up a duck? Get
No,
a
I don't
duck.
recommend. No, you're not supposed to wrap up ducks
No?
with them.
Okay.
It means it's waterproof. That's what that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you could patch stuff underwater. It was the thinking behind, originally. But when you do use that tape, duck or duct tape, and you take it back off of there, the adhesive comes off the tape. It's a gummy mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yuck. It's awful. There is, and to get it off, how do you get that sticky junk off?
You don't know how? I can tell you how.
Tell me how.
Use WD-40.
WD-40,
WD-40 will
the water
dissolve.
displacement Formula 20
Yes.
lubricant.
Yes, it will dissolve the glues off of tape always. So if you just spray it, let it set, you can wipe it right off. There you go.
I know a couple other ways, which I will throw out here.
Okay.
But first we have to make a disclaimer that we don't know if this is good for you or the best way to do this. If you guys have some better ideas, why don't you drop us an email at info@coolphototools.com. We could make a whole section on how to remove duct tape when I should have used gaffer tape. That could be a complete episode, right? All right, so the things that I have used and that I keep around the house for removing sticky stuff like labels, like price tags and things that have adhesive gummy stuff on them. And, you should always try water first, because if it's water soluble, that's the preferable thing. A little paper towel and some water. But generally that doesn't work. So you have to, how do you get this gummy adhesive off of whatever it is that you are using? Plus you don't want to, if it's a plastic thing that it's on, you don't want to dissolve the plastic thing you don't want to get the adhesive off and then to find you've destroyed the item because you've used something that melted it.
Scratch it off.
Yeah. So the thing that I use is lighter fluid. The stuff that you used to put in the old cigarette lighters.
Yeah.
You can get that. It has a nice little spigot that you can squirt just a little bit on where you need it. Use a soft cloth or a paper towel, and it dissolves that adhesive and doesn't melt plastic underneath it. So that would be, what you don't want to use is fingernail polish remover.
No.
Because that's mostly acetone, and that will melt a lot of kind of plastics and paint. Paint comes off with acetone. That's why it's used for fingernail polish remover. But not so lighter fluid. That doesn't dissolve paints or those kind of things. So
The only problem is I don't have lighter fluid. But I do have WD-40.
okay, so yeah, so all right, so WD-40 is whatever's in there probably works as good or better, and
It'll even take off Scotch tape. If you've got a piece.
So will lighter fluid.
Well, true.
But does WD-40 does it leave a residue after it's done its thing?
Yeah, it might. I usually wipe it down with Windex after I've done something with WD-40.
Yeah, see, and lighter fluid evaporates; it just disappears. So. Okay, so
The
there's my
and the
vote for that.
bads.
Like I say, we don't know if these are recommended things to be used or not. I'm just telling you what has worked in the past, and if it causes brain damage, then that could explain some things.
And both products do not use around a flame. Thank you very much.
Yes, that's true. Don't use these at home. What? Don't try this at home.
Don't try this.
Yeah.
Not suggested for children under 5 years old.
Yeah, I don't.
But
I don't. This isn't suggested. We just never mind. Just delete this podcast now.
So what we've come down to is just use Gaffer's tape.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
There
In fact,
you go.
Why doesn't all the stores should make price tags made out of Gaffer's tape instead of that gummy crud that you can't get off of anything?
I think they do that on purpose so that you can't readily remove the tags.
Oh, well, that might be true.
Yeah.
Because you could just put, yeah.
But duct tape is cheaper than Gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is not necessarily cheap.
Well, that's true. That's true. It is.
$16.85 at Amazon.
For how big of a roll is that?
2 inches by 30 yards.
30 yards is quite a bit.
That's quite a bit.
That'll last you a few days.
It will.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So I
Okay.
got one more on my list over
Okay.
here before we give up, and this is the Higo LED Slap Armband. Armband. Let me try that again. This is the Higo. Maybe it's Higo. Higo.
We never know how to pronounce things anymore.
LED Slap Armband. Lights for running. Glow bracelets with color box package. What? Well, see that this is an LED armband that you can put on, and if you're out at night, standing in the middle of the street trying to take night shots and so on, you want to be visible so that motorists can see to avoid you when you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you can do that by putting some of these light up arm bracelets on you. They just very quickly wrap around you, and they come in different colors. There's green and yellow and red and blue. They're very attractive, and they do light up. So you should always have those.
What I was thinking about when I saw them is that you could use them for painting with light. Go out there and just do all sorts of strange things. You could, yeah.
You probably could. They probably could be light paintable as well. I haven't tried that, but certainly these are good for safety. All right, Rhonda, I might have one more, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. Look for your other one.
Okay. My other favorite thing from Amazon that a photographer always needs is, drum roll,
Da-da-da-da.
the Streamlight 6611-8 Stylus Pro LED pen light with holster. These come in several colors. I see the black one happens to be cheaper on Amazon, so maybe I would get that one. You can buy them used for over $213.
Really?
I don't think that's a good buy. Got to watch Amazon. All right, so that's some people put stuff on there.
Hey, I like the one that you had that was camo. Where'd it go?
Well, that was the one that was $213.
Was it?
Yeah. No, here is yeah. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's a collector's item.
Well, switch over so people can see instead of looking at me.
Oh.
There you go. Nope.
Okay.
Now I got my screen. Switch it over.
It says there.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
All right, so we're showing the Streamlight here, and this is a little pocketable flashlight.
I thought they had a green one too. Switch over.
They've got
There you go, that one.
Oh, that's a lot better priced. $23 for that one. But here you just get it in basic black. Just black goes with everything, and this is a really bright LED light that takes a couple of AAA batteries that you can just pop in there. It's got a clip on it, so it clips in your pocket or on the side of your camera case. And these are great. These have a very good color LED light to them that you can see whether you left your gear laying around in the dark. These are awesome. This is my favorite flashlight, the Streamlight Stylus Pro LED pen light. And it comes with a little holster if you want as well. But these are good. I've used lots of flashlights over the years, and this is the winner. Okay, enough said.
Okay. So since you did flashlights, I'm going to give you one back.
All right, fine.
This is a Gerber Recon.
Are they related to the company that makes?
I'm not thinking so.
Okay.
Multicolor flashlight. So this one has actually red, green, blue, see, and white.
What are you going to use all those colors for?
For painting with light at nighttime.
Oh, how much does this cost?
$18.
And this is from Amazon.
This is from Amazon.
And Gerber is spelled Gerber.
BER, just like the Gerber.
Recon. Multicolor flashlight. So it has little. Is it LED?
Mm-hmm.
And it has little rotating filters that go in front?
It does.
Do you have one of these?
No, I don't. But isn't that cool?
I don't know.
It's got an aluminum housing on it.
That's interesting.
So like if you're out there painting with light and you're wanting to use different colored filters, that's it. I mean, what can you say? It's like, cool. And it's small, 5 ounces. Had you seen one of those before?
No, I've got some of those that have the red, blue, and green LEDs in them that you can switch around, but I haven't seen them that actually have the color filters in them. However, I would think the ones that have the actual LEDs would be somewhat brighter, but I don't know. LEDs are getting pretty impressive for their size and power.
Yep.
All right. Well, did you see this?
What?
This is from the impossible-project.com.
You can't get it on Amazon?
No, we're off of Amazon.
Oh,
and these might be on Amazon. I don't know. But there's a lot better picture of them on their website, which is why I went here.
All right.
And there is there's an artist, and see, we're just having to pronounce all this stuff. We just clueless.
I know. I'm not going to say how you pronounce that.
And this artist is Eley, E-L-E-Y, and the last name I'm pretty confident is Kishimoto.
Ooh, that was good.
Mm-hmm. And this artist is globally renowned as the patron saints of print since the early 90s. And so what they've done here, this is on Impossible this is the 600 for Polaroid 600 type cameras or cameras that use the Polaroid 600 type of film. Mm-hmm. These are the borders on these prints. These are the ones that have the big bottom. They're square, but then they have a wider border on the bottom. So these have a black and white pattern on them. A printed pattern that this artist designed.
Kind of a geometric type.
It's kind of
jazzy.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of wacky stuff. And you got to hand it to Impossible. For coming up with not only for keeping Polaroid film alive, but also for
changing it up.
Yeah, Polaroid never made an instant film in the SX70 or the 600 format that was black and white, but Impossible does, and they never decorated the borders on the outside with different colors, but Impossible does. So
how many do you get in the box?
This box is showing $24.49. I think there's 8 in a box, but I think on that. Polaroid, I think used to have 10. I think Impossibles are 8. Anyway. So.
I find it very interesting that we've kind of come full circle, and we're back now at Instamatic cameras that...
You mean instant cameras?
Yes, sorry, not Instamatic, but instant cameras that throw out pictures that are like right there, right now. Don't you think it's funny that we've come full circle with that?
Well, is it full circle, or is it one of those things where the trend was not done yet? I mean, Polaroid went out of business not because people stopped wanting and using instant picture cameras. I think they went out of business for other reasons, which I'm not.
Well, they're now going to a whole generation of kids that have never seen this before. I mean, this was something that we saw, but you've got a whole generation that never saw these type of prints.
Okay, and speaking now, since we're on this, okay, so this is what, and we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I can't remember which episode it was, and this is the Canon Selphy CP1200 printer. I threatened to buy one of these, and I have done it. I have bought with this printer. So this little printer, this is unplugged now because I'm holding it in my hands, and it's got a pop-up color LCD screen on it, and when you load the paper goes in the front here, and you have a cassette like this, which the paper goes in, and then I don't have enough hands.
Yeah.
I'm demonstrating this for those of you that on the audio channel that are not seeing us on YouTube here. So
He's fumbling with it.
I'm fumbling. This is not designed to be done in the air. You got to set this down somewhere, but I'm still doing it in the air. So this this goes in the front like this. So when you're printing here with this, it is, it kind of sticks out like that. So it's not as compact as you might wish, but it has a dye sublimation method, so it pulls the print through the back and comes back and forth a couple times.
So where do you load the paper at?
Right here. See in the front?
I see.
Yeah, that's a cassette that's holding the paper in there. And then it takes about 60 seconds to print, and the print comes right out. And it's full color. It's dry
Do you have a print to show us? Oh, he does have a print.
I do have a print here, and see these are, and when they look like this, then there is this is how they come out, and they're dry, and then you can. These are 4x6. Actually, they're just a tad shy of 4x6, but then they're scored here so you can break off the a little extra paper on there that it used to feed through the printer. Normally that comes off much cleaner than that. I'll break off this other side here. And then you have your finished print. Now this one has a couple, because I took this with my camera phone, so it didn't line up quite right. But you can make these pretty close to 4x6 with no little white edges on the sides. Anyway, so the cool thing about this printer, now see this is, I bought this for family snapshots and just kind of to mess around with. But the cool thing about it is that it's now, they've made these for a while, but the new model is Wi-Fi, so you can hook it up to your network, your home network, and then you can print from any network attached device. So you can print from your iPad or your iPhone or your Android phone, any number of computers or laptops you have laying around. They can all jump on the network and print to this printer. And it does the colors I've been really impressed with. Generally, dye sublimation printers like this don't have a huge dynamic range, but they do. It's pretty nice. And here's the great thing about this. I sound like a Canon ad, don't I?
Kind of.
Yeah, so you have to go to Amazon and order one of these if we're going to get any commission on this. So, which is what I did. I ordered mine on Amazon.
So lifespan of an image like this?
I don't know exactly. I would estimate it's the same as what you get from commercial photo labs. Color photos, depending on how they're stored, probably 12 to 75 years. I don't know. Maybe Canon has some data on archival question on that, but it's not the tragedy that once was. Because we had archival images. If you took a picture with your Kodak camera and you had a print made, and then you threw the negatives away, and the print faded out in 12 years, it was gone. But now everything's digital. So when the print fades out,
True.
you have the digital file. You could just make another one. It's not that tragic. But I do think they last pretty well, though. I don't know. I'll just have to say I don't know on that. But that's not dissuading me. I think that they will last plenty long.
It would be dangerous in my household because my grandkids would be looking at it, getting a hold of it, and I would have no paper. It'd be like, I'm going to print this one, I'm going to print this one, I'm going to print this one. Yeah, well,
and I think there's nothing wrong with that because of the cost per print. When you order these through Amazon, the print cost, you buy them you get a box of 108 pictures, and it includes enough ribbon and paper to do 108. So you are not going to run out of one or the other. They're perfectly matched up. And their cost is around 27 cents a print.
Well, that's not bad.
Which that puts that right in line with commercial photo labs.
It does.
And to have it at home. 60,
how much does this run?
It's $96, $97 depending on when you buy it, and then plus it comes with like 10 sheets. So you want to go ahead and order that 108 pack at the same time.
Well, that's not bad.
No, it's really not, and and here's the other thing that of course people have complained like, well, these don't really, there's not a professional printer, so they don't have an ICC profile, which is a little piece of software, a little code that you put into your computer and tells Lightroom or Photoshop or one other application and tells it how to adjust the printers so that you get a really good, properly balanced print. And there is two different places you can buy custom ICC profiles for this printer. One is about $9 and there's about $10. I'll link to these in the show notes so you can pick those up. And I picked up one of those profiles and put it in the printer, and it just I looked at the picture in Lightroom and I printed it out, and the print is just almost a dead ringer. It's not the same because on the computer screen the light is different, but
Okay, give me the name of this again.
Of which?
Of your little printer.
Sure. This is the Canon Selphy, and that's spelled Selphy, CP1200. Now, some of the
What's
older
the difference
models,
with the CP800 I see?
Okay, well, those are older models.
Uh-huh.
And again, I'm not exactly sure. I think the older models didn't have the Wi-Fi built in. They had the same color engine. They use the same supply, same materials. So if you buy the profile for one, that'll work on all of them. The color profile is the same on all those printers. Also, you can buy a battery, and you can run it if you want. And I know there's some professional photographers that are doing this. They have 3 or 4 of these, and they go to an event and they take pictures, and then they immediately Wi-Fi them to these printers. They have 3 or 4 printers running at the same time.
It's a really clever idea.
So all the Rhonda's got this on her screen over here.
I do.
can bring this up.
I
There's
put
the
it on
ink,
Amazon.
and there's the Canon Selphy printer. And so you can print to these wirelessly like that, and so you have these running. It takes about a minute for each print to come out. So if you got 3 of these going, you could get you could give the guests an image to take with them pretty quickly. So there's a lot of
What
I
a
think
great
event
idea for
photographers.
like little school events and stuff where they have like the kids have like little carnivals and stuff, and they take imagery and stuff. What a great one this would be.
Yeah, and you can print from your smartphone. You don't have to use a pro camera, although that the better quality image you send to it, the nicer the print's going to be. But again, they can be driven directly from your smartphone or your iPad wirelessly. You can even set up an ad hoc network on them if there's no Wi-Fi around. So anyway, I'm very impressed. I thought it was
me too.
a good purchase, and the other thing that I like about it, I mean, there's so much to like. I can hook this up to all the computers in my house, so my wife she can take some of her cell phone pictures and she can print them out. She can do it herself. She doesn't have to go, honey, I need to have this printed out. Can you start your computer? And there's none of that. So she can do it. It's easy, piece of cake.
And I like how they've taken the Canon paper and it's got the little Canon emblem on the back, so that
they learned that from Kodak.
Yes, that this is good paper. This isn't just cheap paper. This is Canon paper.
Well, you can't use any others in that printer. You're stuck with the Canon
Yes,
refillables on it.
But that's what I'm saying is it's great marketing, because then when you hand this to somebody, they look and they say, "Oh, Canon, okay,"
Well, but see, Kodak did that back in the day. When there were multiple photo finishers, and you took your film to get developed, and if you had processing by Kodak or you used a Kodak paper that they used, then it said little watermark on the back said Kodak, Kodak, Kodak. And if you used a photo lab that instead bought their consumables from Fuji or from Agfa Gavayert or one of the 3M, one of those other competitive companies, it didn't say Kodak on the back. It said nothing, right? So you're like, I didn't get these from Kodak. I wonder if the quality is suspect. At least that was their plan.
Right. Well, I am impressed because it is, looking at the image with it in my hand, it is really good quality.
All the other stuff we've talked about, see right here in the front, those of you on YouTube, there's a little slot right here for an SD card.
Wow.
So you can take the SD card out of your camera, put it right in there, use the menu on screen, and you can drive this to make any number of prints that you want. Plus, it's got on this side, if you don't have any wireless capability, it does have USB connectors
so
over
connect it to your computer
on this
directly.
side. Yeah, so it's got everything you need. They've already found us. Oh, and did I mention the batteries? If you go to their website and you look, these are kind of pricey, so you got to be serious about this. If you want to drive this, with no AC, you can get rechargeable batteries that connect to the back of this. And I think the Canon batteries are right around $70, something like that. There are some third-party equivalents. I think Wasabi makes some that probably are fairly just as good. So you could take 2 or 3 batteries and you could do a completely wireless event with this where you didn't need to plug in to make prints with. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, they put a lot of thought into this.
Well, these have evolved, over the years. They started, with a good idea, and they've been perfecting it, I think.
Making
These
a good
also
idea better.
they also come in white and black.
I see that.
So, if you're fashion conscious, you have at least 2 choices there.
Yeah.
And you know what time it is?
Already? I'm still looking at this little printer. I'm not done yet.
Okay, Rhonda's going to order one of these up, and we're going to be back next week, and she's going to tell you how she liked hers.
Yeah.
Well, it's a crazy thing because it doesn't seem like it would interest professional photographers, but really there's a lot of uses, for this consumer level printer. If you wanted to buy a professional printer, that could go in the field, produce really nice prints, could run on batteries, you could afford 4 or 5 of them at a time to print out some kind of an event and hand out pictures to people.
Your little souvenir thing. Yeah, it's great.
And I think the quality is very nice on
It is
these.
very good.
They don't. There's been some instant printers, right? I mean, you can get the Zinc printers. That Polaroid has the Zinc printers, and then Fuji has the Instax printers where they use the instant film, and the quality on those does not compare to this. Plus, you get a 4x6 print. You can get smaller sized paper, sticker back paper. Paper that prints smaller. You can get different cassette, and they can make like ID badge and whatnot. Those are available too, but just out of the box, I think the 4x6 are quite nice.
Very cool.
All right, we were trying to get out of here.
I know.
Talking.
Sorry.
I keep talking. That's all right. We're just going to keep talking. Let's go through this all again. No, we're ready. All right, everybody. We're going to talk to you next week.
We'll see you later. Have
Bye-bye.
a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cool Photo Tools podcast. Sign up for our mailing list at coolphototools.com. Got a question? Send an email or MP3 audio file to info@coolphototools.com. Thanks for listening.